Hi guys, welcome back to Bang Bang Soul Bowls. Today we're going to make a vegan lasagna, and if you want to know how to make this delicious dinner, stick around. Okay, the first thing we are going to do is go ahead and gather the ingredients for our tomato sauce, our pasta sauce. And what I have here is some chopped parsley, some fresh chopped parsley. It's maybe like a fourth of a cup and a half. And then we have about 5-6 cloves of garlic, a small onion chopped, and then we're gonna add a can of crushed tomatoes, some tomato paste, some diced tomatoes, tomato sauce, basil, olive oil, sugar, and then we have some fennel seed, Italian seasoning, and some ground black pepper. I'm going to add some salt as well, and then we're going to add in my secret ingredient, which is the vegetarian fish sauce. And also we're going to add a cup of a cup of beef broth. And what this is just one beefless bouillon cube dissolved in a cup of water. All right, let's go ahead and start this. Get this. I have this on the Instapot. Well, it's not actually an Instapot, it's a Farberware pot, but I use it as an Instapot as well. I just have it on sear right now. I'm going to add in some olive oil. Okay, the next thing we are going to add into that is the garlic. And we're just going to let that garlic go until we start smelling the garlic. And then the next thing I'm going to do is put in the tomato paste. I want that to cook a little bit before I add the other ingredients. So I'm going to add the tomato paste in next. Okay, the next thing we're going to add into this is our beef broth. Mix that in. We're going to add in our crushed tomatoes, diced tomatoes, tomato sauce, go ahead and put in our parsley, add our seasoning. To this, I'm going to add in a tablespoon of fennel seeds. If you don't like fennel, don't add fennel in there. I'm going to do some basil, tablespoon of that. going to do a tablespoon of Italian seasoning. And then you can always adjust the flavors after you have your ingredients in. Black pepper, I'm going to add just a little shy of a tablespoon of that. I'm going to add about a tablespoon of sugar as well. And then I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of my secret ingredient. If you don't want to add the fish sauce, don't add it, but I'm also going to say, don't knock it until you try it, honey. And then I'm going to add a little salt to that. I'll say that's about a teaspoon. That fish sauce is kind of salty, so we are going to let this go. Okay. I can tell already that's going to be delicious. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put the top on this. I am going to let it go for, set it for super stew, and that is going to put it on about 35 minutes. We're going to go ahead on and pressure cook that for 35 minutes while that's pressure cooking. Alright, in this pot right here I have about 3 cups of beefless chicken broth, and what I use to make that is just 3 cups of water, and I used about 5 beefless bouillon cubes. I like to have a lot of flavor in my food, that's why I use so many, but you only need 1 cube per cup of water, but I used 5 just to amp up the beefiness of it. And I did boil this, and I'm just going to try to bring it back into a boil. It doesn't have to be boiling all the way, but I do want it to be warm, because to that I am going to add in 3 cups of this textured vegetable protein, which is just TVP. And if you don't know what that is, I'll put a link down below and you can research that and you can see what it is for yourself. And this is basically what is used to make the meatless vegan crumbles. So when you picking up the meatless vegan crumbles already made at the store, this is what they look like when they have not been rehydrated. So I'm going to just add that to the pot. I know it may look like a lot, but once it gets in there, it's going to get hydrated and it is going to soak up all of that flavor. So what the ratio I usually use when I rehydrate my TVP is my TVP is 1-to-1. So you're going to use 1 cup of TVP per 1 cup of water or broth, vegetable broth, beefless broth, or either chickenless chicken broth. So I'm going to turn that off. We're going to let that sit for a little bit, and while we're letting that sit, we're going to go ahead and make our tofu ricotta cheese, and we're also going to make our cashew cream sauce to go into the lasagna. Okay guys, what we're going to move along to now is to make the cashew cream sauce. And in this pot I have 2 cups of raw cashews. I boiled them for 10 minutes just to soften them. You don't have to boil them. I boil them because I don't have a high powered blender. I broke mine, so I just used this little old run-of-the-mill blender that I have here, and I find that it makes it creamier and it's easy to mix when the cashews have been boiled and softened. So we also have some oat milk, which you can use milk or you can use water, chicken broth, whatever you want to use as your liquid for your cashew cream. We're going to use some Himalayan pink salt. We're going to use lemon. It calls for 1/4 cup of lemon, but it just depends on your taste. I'm going to add half of a lemon, taste it, see how it tastes at that point, and then I may add the other half. Then we have some nutritional yeast, which is going to give it that cheesy flavor. And then I'm going to add 2 cloves of garlic, and this is right here is my mushroom powder. I think I've shared this on another video, but you can buy mushroom powder from your local Oriental market, but I just make my own using dried shiitake mushrooms. If you guys want to know how I make my mushroom powder, just let me know down in the comments and I will make a video for that. So we're going to start off with 1.25 cups of oat milk. That should do the trick right there. I'm going to go ahead and add in 2 cloves of garlic. I already have that open. I'm going to put 2 in there. Oh, well, 3. I'm going to go ahead and add the cashews to the mix. And I drained those, but there was some little residual water left in that, and that's okay. We're going to go ahead and add some nutritional yeast. Like I said, it should be like 1/4 cup, but I am just going to eyeball it and add how much I think I'm going to add. I'm going to add in the mushroom powder. This has salt in it, so I'm going to add a little bit of this, and then I'm going to taste it to see if I even need to add any extra salt to that. Alright, I'm going to sit you guys down here while I squeeze in the lemon. Like I said, I'm going to start off with 1/2 lemon and see what the acidity level is on that, and then we will come back and add salt if needed. Alright, so now that our cashew cream is all blended, are looking for when you make cashew cream is a nice, smooth, homogeneous consistency. Everything should be as one, blended together. Like I said, I don't have a high-powered blender, so I just let it go until it has, you know, creamed up until it looks like this. I'm going to taste it. I already added some salt to it, and then I mixed it up. I want to taste it and see if it needs anything additional. Nope. Perfect. And I did add the other lemon to that as well. That's perfect. Alright, so the next thing we're going to make is our tofu ricotta cheese that is going to go into our lasagna as well. Okay guys, for the now for the tofu ricotta, this one has a little bit more of involved ingredients, just because I can be a little extra with things sometimes, but you know, just try it out for yourself. Don't knock it until you try it, you know, like I usually say. Okay, we're going to use 1 pound of extra firm tofu here, which I've already drained it. It doesn't have to be super duper dry, but you just want to drain the water that is in the container out of it. We have some apple cider vinegar here. We have some pink Himalayan salt. apple cider vinegar. This is just a regular apple cider vinegar. You can use Bragg's. You can use whichever apple cider vinegar you want to use in this recipe. Here we go with nutritional yeast again, which gives that cheesy flavor that all vegans love. Well, not all vegans, but most vegans love nutritional yeast. We have Italian seasoning, some ground black pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, some tahini, and also some white miso. And the white miso, I get this from my local Asian market, and what this does, it adds a depth of flavor to your dishes, and it adds a saltiness as well. I always add my salt last whenever I am making anything that has soy sauce or miso in it. Even nutritional yeast has a salt factor to it. So once you get to, cooking with these ingredients, you'll figure out what has the saltiness factor. So you always want to put your salt in last, because you don't want to overpower your dish or make it salty, okay? Alright, and I have my handy dandy food processor out here, which is what we're going to use to mix our tofu ricotta. And if you don't want to use the tofu ricotta, you can you can skip this step. But I love the texture that it brings to the lasagna, and it actually makes me think of ricotta cheese. So we're going to add the tofu to our food processor. See, like I said, some of the water is still in there, which is fine. I drained most of it out. That's fine. We are going to put in, and I'm going to actually measure for this, just because I like to use precise measurements on some things. So we're going to do 2 tablespoons of tahini. Well, no, I'm not going to measure everything. I am measuring that. I'm going to put in roughly 3 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. Oh, I forgot my garlic, guys. Oh, I said I was going to use garlic powder instead of garlic cloves. So we're going to do about a teaspoon of garlic. We're going to do about a teaspoon of onion powder. We are not going to use much of this miso, maybe a teaspoon. We're just going to say a heaping. That's like a heaping teaspoon of that. We are going to use a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. If you don't want to use apple cider vinegar, you can use lemon juice. You need some type of acidity in it, so you're going to use that. A little bit of black pepper. I will put ingredients down below. You can adjust them to however you like for your food to taste. Everything is to taste. So that's about a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. We all have different tastes. We all like different levels of acidity when it comes to things. I love acidic things, tomatoes, lemon juice, apple cider vinegar. So I tend to use more of that ingredient when I'm cooking. But anywho, let's go ahead and get this blended up. I'm going to go ahead and taste that to see if we need to make any adjustments in our ingredients. It's just that easy. It is just that simple to make. I'm going to scrape the sides down to make sure all of those ingredients are incorporated. Let's take a little taste of that. I would say that that is absolutely perfect. I am going to add just a little bit of salt just to enhance the flavors that are in there. So just a little sprinkle of salt. And this is what your tofu ricotta should look like, which it actually looks like ricotta cheese. So very simple to make, very inexpensive to make. You can get that block, I believe, of tofu from Walmart. I think that's where I purchased it. $1.50, $2 at the most. But all right, that is it for the. You can also add in spinach. You can. I would recommend using the frozen spinach. Just thaw it out and wring out the excess moisture from the spinach and add that in there. I usually put spinach in mine, but I'm just making this very simple today. Cheese and meat and noodles. That's what we have in our lasagna today. Yeah, so all right, so that is one of the components down. We have 10 minutes left on the pressure cooker for our tomato sauce. Meatless crumbles, they have hydrated. I'm going to go ahead and put these in a pan with some olive oil, and I might chop up, I think I'm going to chop up another onion, and I'm going to saute that together, and we're going to mix that in our sauce once it is done. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out a pan, and we're going to do that. Guys, here we go. I have a wok or a pan heating up over medium-high heat. I'm going to add in some, drizzle in some olive oil, just enough to coat the bottom of the pan. And to that, I'm going to add like a half, well, 3/4 of red onion. And we're just going to start sauteing that up. And this is going to be the basis for our meatless crumbles for our lasagna. Alright, so I went ahead and added our meatless crumbles to the pan with our red onion. I'm going to add some black pepper to that. I'm not going to add any salt or anything because the bouillon, the beefless bouillon that we use to rehydrate our meatless crumbles has lots of salt in it, and this is what I use, and this has been my favorite and most inexpensive beef flavoring that I have come across. This is, let's see if I can get it to focus. This is Imitation beef flavored bouillon cubes, and it's by Spice Supreme. Okay, so Spice Supreme, they used to make a powdered version of this for chicken and beef, and those were my go-tos all the time, and it's only 99 cents for 25 count. And if you look at the ingredients, it says it's imitation beef flavor. That lets you know that there's no beef fat in here or any beef product. And only thing it says on the side is that it has artificial beef flavor. Now, I'm not Not sure if you guys are familiar with how bouillon cubes or flavoring cubes work, but most of them have dehydrated fat in them or some type of animal product that gives that flavor to the cube, but this does not have that in it. So, and this is very inexpensive, and the flavor is also always dynamite when it comes to that. So we are just going to continue browning up our meat for our lasagna. There's only 1 minute left on the pressure cooker. So there it is. So what we're going to do is go ahead and let the steam come out of that. Normally I would let it release, the pressure release on its own, but we're hungry and I'm going to go ahead and let this steam out so I can add that sauce to our. Here is our finished tomato sauce. I just tasted it. We don't need to do anything further to this sauce. What we're going to do is go ahead and add some of that. I'm going to add the beef to the pot because there's really not a lot of sauce, and I don't want to make the mistake of adding all the sauce to the meat and then we don't have a saucy sauce for our lasagna. I want it to be kind of soft. It's going to have to be saucy anyway because I am not boiling my noodles first. I'm just going to use the noodles out of the package. Okay, so we're going to add some of that ground meatless crumbles to the sauce. Let me set you guys down. You might not be able to get a good view, but that's pretty good right there. So I actually sauteed the meatless crumbles for maybe about 10 minutes, I'm gonna say. Let's see. Like I said, we're not going to cook our noodles first, so I want to make sure we have enough sauce to cook our noodles without having too much beef in it. But we also have that you gotta remember we do have our cashew cream cheese and our ricotta cheese, so that should add a little liquid to that. But this is what we have here for the come on, stop fogging up on me, for our sauce. What I'm going to do now, we are going to go ahead and put the lasagna together. Alright guys, so here we have all of our components to our vegan lasagna. We have our meatless meat sauce, our cashew cream, we have our tofu ricotta, and we have my most favorite cheese of all. This is earth-grown vegan cheese, vegan mozzarella style shreds from Aldi. It's only $3.50 a pack, $3.49 to be exact a pack. I want to say that's how much it is. It may have went up a little bit, but I'm not sure. But this is what we're going to use, and we are going to use the Barilla excuse me, oven ready lasagna noodles. And this is my pan. Do not judge me, okay? I know this is not a lasagna pan, okay? So we know that. It is a roaster. Yes, it is a roaster. I'm going to put it in there because I know it's going to be big. I know it's going to make a lot, and I don't want to be fooled up with the lasagna boiling over into my oven. So that's what we're going to use this pan. That beeping noise in the back is my dishwasher. My son started the dishwasher and I can't figure out how to stop it, so I just opened it, which will have it just beeping at me for now, but it's okay. It is quite all right. We will work through this together. Okay. So the first thing I am going to do is put down a, yeah, it's kind of hot, but not really hot. We're going to put down a little bit of our sauce. Okay. Not a lot, just a little bit to cover our pan and to keep our noodles from sticking. I am then going to put down, listen, please don't judge me on my pan and how I'm making this lasagna. I'm going to put down 3 noodles. We're going to have 3 noodles per layer. I am going to concentrate all the ingredients where the noodles are. So we want to make sure we get all of that done. Yeah, so the first thing I'm going to do is put down the ricotta mixture. We're just going to cover our noodles with that ricotta. This tofu ricotta. Come on. Come on. So. I'm going to put that down. I want to have every inch of these noodles covered. Because we don't want this to be a dry lasagna now, do we? No. We want it to be juicy, flavorful, and yum. Oh. Okay. I'm going to go in with some of our cashew cheese. Man, this is going to be so good. I already know. I can already tell. Just going to spread that around. And this is going to be a very cheesy layer. Okay. We are going to do a layer of noodles again. And this time we're going to put our sauce on. And I am just going to do that like that. Okay. Make sure you get the sauce on. Make sure that sauce gets into, covers all the noodles, because like I said, we are not boiling these noodles before we cook it. And we're going to need that sauce to help moisten up those noodles. We're going to put a layer of our bacon mozzarella on top of that. Yes, we are. We did that. And guess what we're going to repeat with our tofu ricotta. Okay, I need to save some of that because we're going to have another layer of that. So, just going to go in like so. Make sure those noodles are covered. I'm gonna go in with our cashew cream. I've got one extra noodle in there. I don't know. Alright, we're gonna go in with our meat sauce next. Okay, sweethearts. More of this cheese. And we have another layer here. And I think I am going to do I'm just gonna make this an everything layer. Might as well. I don't have that much of that left. I'm gonna top that with the rest of our meat sauce. That's sliding all over the place, but that's okay. It's still gonna be good. We're gonna top that with some cashew cream. And some more mozzarella. Now, hey, I know it's looking a little Frankensteinish right now, but I guarantee you this is going to be some of the best vegan lasagna you would ever put into your mouth. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to cover it with the top to this roaster. We are going to put it in the oven for 25 minutes with the top on, and then I'm going to take the top off and let it bake off for maybe about another 15 minutes, and then I will show you guys the final product. Here is the lasagna fresh out of the oven. I actually cooked it for 35 minutes covered, and then another 30 minutes uncovered at 350. I am going to let this cool for about 15 to 20 minutes, and then I am going to cut you guys a piece, and we're going to taste it and see how it tastes together. I cannot wait to taste that goodness. Okay guys, I'm going to go ahead and cut this. It's been sitting for a while now, but I'm going to go ahead on and get into it so you guys can see how it turned out. I want to get that piece out the middle. Let's see if I can get that. Oh! Let's see if I can get that out. Look at those layers, y'all. Please, 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 I want you guys to make this and let me know how it turned out for you. But I am going to go ahead and put this on my plate, and I am going to have dinner. I am not going to taste this for you guys right now, but I want you all to try it out and let me know. Tag me on Instagram or whatever you choose to post your picture of your vegan lasagna. Just add me. Alright guys, thank you for coming out. Until next time.